Hi everyone, my name is Grace Ofezakai and I'm so happy to be here again today on the channel, on the Nima Careers channel. And Nima Careers was founded to help immigrants of African descent, settle in their careers when they move abroad, land great roles, get those big paying jobs and avoid the whole stereotypes of immigrants doing like the lower ends of the job, lower end jobs abroad. So my name is Grace again, and if you look at previous videos, you can see that we've had a lot of videos about resume writing, interview preparations, and we still have a whole lot more coming up. So thank you for stopping by, thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing with your friends, and also I deeply appreciate everyone who has dropped a comment on this channel. So today, the short video for today is tell me about yourself. How do you answer that question? Like, I don't think there's any interview that you go for that nobody asks. They always ask that question, tell me about yourself, and why I say that this question is very important because it's the first question you're likely going to be asked, right? And it sets the tone for the rest of the interview. It's like you need to make sure that you make a great impression with how you respond to this question. When you prepare to answer your tell me about yourself question is you need to have done a whole lot of your own career story, articulated everything together. One. Number two, you need to have read the job description thoroughly, right? All those keywords, pick them out. What are they looking for? Check the company as well. What is the company? How much do you know the company? You can't just have pedestrian knowledge of a company where you're going for an interview. You have to know more than the ordinary person on the streets, right? Yeah, so if you can have those three things, and then they ask you that question, tell me about yourself. You can say, oh, thank you. Maybe call the person's name. Always call them by their names. Don't just say thank you. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Miriam. Oh, thank you, Miriam. And you can go ahead and start how to tell me about yourself. I will say that I'm not going to tell you that, oh, this is the time. Like, oh, it has to be 5 minutes, it has to be 2 minutes. I'm not going to tell you that, but I will need to tell you that you need to make sure that you are focused on what the employer is looking for. So I always use analogy of somebody that is a cook. Let's say I'm a cook and I'm a professional dancer, and I go to, let's say, Beyonce, who wants to have a concert in Toronto, and she needs to hire people. When they ask me, tell me about yourself in those kind of for that kind of interview, I'm going to start talking about how I'm the best chef in the entire world. I'll focus on what the employer is looking for. Beyonce needs dancers. I will show her that I'm a good dancer. If she wants to, she can tell me to dance, I will dance for her, that kind of thing. So it needs to be focused on what is the employer looking for. I know you've done amazing work in your life. You've have diverse experience, from project management to strategy, but the role is asking for a project manager. Focus on that. Yes, you have all these great stories that you can use to fine-tune to that, but make sure that the focus is on what the employer is looking for. Don't make it too long. Don't wear them and I'll be like, oh my god, what's this girl talking about, or what's this guy talking about? Can't it be done? You can't make it too long. Time for you to start talking in personal things about yourself, like, oh, I grew up in a small town in Ghana, I have 5 sisters, I have 10 siblings, No, you don't need all of that. You don't even need to start going through when you start saying things about, this was the reason that maybe you've left university 10 years ago. You want to start talking about how you made a decision to study biology or whatever it is that you studied. No, you don't need all of that. Focus on the job description. And another thing for interview is that you don't need to cram. There's no need for you to cram. It's your story. Like, this is a career that you've lived. You don't need to cram anything. It's not like it's not necessary. You shouldn't be cramming. What I always advise for interviews is have a structure. How do you want to answer this question? When they ask you XYZ, I'm going to answer. If they ask me this question, I will answer it this way. If they ask me that question, I'll answer it this way. So what I want you to do is to have a structure. When they say, tell me about yourself, you can have different structures for you, but this one I always advise. You can start from the overview of your career and talk about your overview of your career briefly. Talk about your most current role. and everything they are saying is making sure that you are hitting all the right notes on what they are looking for. And then you can talk about, oh, this is the reason why I'm here applying for this position. And then you can say, oh, outside of work I do, maybe you do, and you can check the company. Maybe the company is heavily invested in helping maybe like children's education in Asia, and this is something that you're interested in. It would be nice for you to say that, like, oh, outside of my 9 to 5, I enjoy helping little kids from, maybe remote communities on whatever, maybe like tech literacy skills. That's a great way for you to talk about yourself, to answer that question. I want to, you have to be cognizant of the culture in the country where you're applying to. There are certain cultures, or certain, I don't want to mention names, there are certain countries where you have to be very serious in an interview. But for a Canadian interview, showing other sides of yourself is a great thing, right? So I had a client that she's a professional opera singer. And when she talked about herself, like, and then she was like, oh, outside of work, I'm a professional opera singer and I perform at events, sometimes maybe once in a year. Like, that was just it. And then everybody's just really so happy to hear from her. Like, oh my God, tell me more about this opera singing thing. And then it makes you memorable. So even when they're maybe at the end of the day, when they're trying to like review candidate, like, oh, the girl, the opera singer, it make yourself stand out. For me, I've had cases where I love to read books a lot. Fiction, non-fiction, any kind of books that interest me, I read. So when I always say, oh, outside of work, I love to learn about new things, and this drives my interest in books, and I read a lot of books. My most recent book is, and I've had cases where we've exchanged book recommendations during the interview, right? So start overview of your career. Oh, over the last 10 years, I've built a career in XYZ, certain industries, mention it. In my most recent role, talk about your achievement. And your achievement has to be tailored to what the employer is looking for. And then you talk about, well, the reason why I'm looking for this role now is I want to leverage my skills and expertise in ABC Bank, because I know that right now ABC has a plan to maybe check their annual report. Maybe they've said something like, oh, the next 10 years we want to expand to, let me mention, maybe I want to expand to Europe. I can talk about maybe if you even have relevant experience in Europe, that would be a great way to bring it. Like, okay, you want to expand. I know that I'm sure in this role because I want to leverage my skills and experience in ABC Bank with this role, and I know that the bank has a plan to expand into the European market. From this role, I can see that I've had experience maybe in Switzerland, or I worked in London. Mention anything that you want, London Stock Exchange, this would be a great experience for me. You have to make sure that everything that you are saying interests the employer to want to hire you for that position. So don't go on rambling. Storytelling is a skill I'm still learning. It's a skill that you can also learn as well. So when you use your storytelling to tell me about yourself, it makes it very compelling. Oh my God, they want to listen to you. They want to listen more to you. And so another thing that you could do is also record yourself, like tell me up, because it's the opening, most likely the opening question. So you need to make sure that you are making that great impression from the very first second. You can record yourself. For me, I talk very fast, and I try to, breathe. So what I do is I can record myself on the phone and see how I sound, and try avoiding using filler words. It's something I'm also struggling with. Well, we're all a work in progress, right? So try to avoid using words like you can actually just take a 1-second pause. It helps you with those filler words. So there are a lot of things. So tell me about yourself is a very important question, and I hope that this video has helped you in how to answer that tell me about yourself question. Thank you so much for watching today. If this video really helped you with your job search, please drop a comment in the box below and let us know what else you want us to show on the channel. Thank you so much for being here with us. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nima Careers. And if you want to have your resume revamped, if you have an upcoming interview, send us an email at consults@nimacareers.com. I'll be happy to hear from you. Until we come again next time, have a wonderful evening. Bye.